Pan Asia grilled mackerel in teriyaki sauce. Hello, it's Rocky the Funny Guy here with another review of unusual foods. If you've never watched one of my videos, if you've never watched one of my videos before, I hope you didn't tune in looking for a comedy show. I'm a funny guy just in the fact that I do funny things and say a few funny comments. It's really a whimsical attempt at a serious review of some serious foods, because these are really good for the planet, they're good for your body, they're low in toxins. I like to promote this kind of food. I eat it a lot, and I don't know if it's really benefiting me, because when I eat a lot of good food, it's probably better that I eat less of the bad food. But anyhow, that is what it is for now. Pan Asia, it's the brand. Grilled mackerel, it's what's inside. We've had grilled mackerel before by other producers. This one looks a little bit more enticing because it's got actually the skin and all the grilled looking features on it. I'm not a fan of teriyaki sauce, so that may be a downgrade at a level, but we'll see what happens. I like to point out the fact that this is a box. It is a reclosable package. I like things that are reclosable because it just seems like there's something more of value in there. I also like the fact that it is a gold colored tin. Gold says to me more important than aluminum, but it doesn't always turn out that way. I won't go through the usual nonsensical review of everything that's printed on the label, but I will give you a good shot of it, and maybe we'll take a snapshot. We're gonna have to do that later. At the end of the video, you'll see a very clear shot of these, so you can actually go on there yourself and you can read all the ingredients if that's something that's really interesting, source and all that kind of stuff. I will jump through just a couple things. For instance, the ingredients is mackerel, of course, and mackerel is like a giant sardine. There are king mackerels, which gets really large, and you don't want to eat those because they're high up in the food chain, which means they eat a lot of animals that have accumulated toxins. So king mackerel is something that probably don't want to eat. The regular mackerels don't live too long, so they don't get all the accumulation of toxins. So we got mackerel, water, sugar, okay, soy sauce. I suppose that's what makes the teriyaki-ness. And then, oh, my favorite thing to not see on the ingredients is most of these things are so expounding in flavor anyways, why do they have to enhance it even farther with that bad stuff? And it says a little disclaimer here, it contains fish and soy. Because some people are allergic to soy, and I'm not sure why they say there's fish in the can. Maybe because who knows why. Obviously there's fish in the can, but I like to read those things for fun. And it's wild-caught product of Thailand. Don't get a whole lot of fish products lately from Thailand, so this one may have a little bit different essence because of how they do it, or because of the way they add their spices to their sauces, etc. All right, enough of that nonsense. Looking at the can, always like to tap it. When it sounds solid, it just says something to me like, that's cool. I don't like a hollow sounding can. This one is interesting enough. This one is 8 years past the due date. Now, I'm not one who is regulated by the due dates on cans, because they aren't actually expiration dates. They don't really expire. They are a best if used by, which is kind of a safe way for the company of saying it doesn't really expire, but yet we'd like you to toss it out and buy new. But if you've eaten canned foods and you're really an expert at eating canned foods, you will know that the expiration date, or the date, and there's not an expiration date, it's a best if used by, and most likely it's just an idea of when the thing was canned, and if it's into the 10 to 20 years, yeah, you might want to proceed with caution. This surprises me though, because I didn't buy this that long ago. I just bought this last year. So I'm expecting this to be, best if used by 2026 or 2028, because this is 2024. But no, this one expired 8 years ago. All right. The can is not bellying out, or oil canning, as we would say in the metalworking industry. It's not puffed up, so it doesn't look like anything has decomposed and created a gas in there from the carbon dioxide that bacteria gives off. Easy pull tab. Let's proceed. It actually made a little hiss there. So, given the fact that it is 8 years, there may have been something going on, but not enough to really worry about. Smells like fish. Doesn't smell like 8-year-old decomposed fish. Let's see how easy it pulls off. Nice, easy pull. Give it a couple. Ooh, snapped off real nice. And there you have it. That's what we got inside. Now I usually empty out the contents or the fluids, so I don't mess on myself, because that has happened before. So what I'm going to do this time, a little different. I'm going to just pour the contents right out onto this plate so you can see the color of the oil. Actually quite entertaining to see this nice orange fluid come out of the can, I think anyway. Okay, now we can safely display it just like that. Pretty good chunky pieces of fish. So here we are back. You can see that gelatinous, pasty looking pink orange kind of stuff on there. That is called albumin. It is a protein that exudes from the meat. You'll see it on steaks, sometimes on chicken. If you just let the meat sit there and broil for a long time, this kind of pasty stuff comes to the surface and coagulates. It's not harmful. It's just a different type of protein, a liquid protein, I guess, that has boiled down into a solid. Now, it does smell fishy. If you're not a fishy smell connoisseur, this might not be as pleasant an experience as you'd like. But they sure are nicely packed in there. 3 big honking chunks. You can see 2 on top, and there's 1 underneath. Very large scales, it appears like. I'm not sure if those are scales or just the pattern of the fish. Alright, so I'm going to lift one of these logs out of the tray. And I let them, okay. I can notice something immediately. These 8-year-old logs are pretty stiff. So I'm not expecting the taste to be off, not expecting anything else to be off, but I can see they are definitely stiff from being in their little casket for so many years, almost a decade. But I wouldn't say the smell is unexpected. Fish and soy sauce, or teriyaki sauce, or soy, whatever is mixed with, typically gives a, like I would say, an off-color smell. I don't care for it. We're going to drop this onto the plate. And then I want to show something. Then I want to show you something. We'll hold this down like that, but go ahead and look at the pattern on that fish. You can actually see. Try it again. Oh, I've messed it up now. We're just going to pick that bad boy up. I'm going to show it to you. Okay, take a look at that. That is quite a beautiful pattern on that fish. In Michigan here, where I'm from, in the Great Lakes area, we have fish that are called lake trout, and they have this network pattern on them, just like these little mackerel. I'm kind of wondering if it's mackerel is perhaps the saltwater equivalent of a lake trout, but I bet you that's a really beautiful fish when it's swimming in the water. And you can see on the opposite side, it's just the fillet. So these are halved. You get the skin on one side, the meat on the other side, no guts, no glory, no bones. So I'm just going to take and gnaw a chunk right off this little fillet. Definitely a stiff fish. Flavor is there. Flavor is mild, not fishy, not overpowering with the teriyaki sauce, which I don't like anyways, so I'm happy about that. But it definitely is firm. After sitting in the can 8 years, it's definitely condensed. Let's see what the tail is like. The tail seems to have a little bit more concentrated flavor. Maybe because there's more. Oh, I can see why. Because toward the tail there, I've gotten into the really dark, fatty meat, and that's where a lot of the intense flavor is in that dark, fatty meat, because of the blood settles in there, in the fat. Of course, fat's what really gives it the substance. Well, if it wasn't for the stiffness of that, this is a darn good chunk of meat. But as it is so stiff, it's almost like it's almost getting to the point of trail meat. But you wouldn't want to carry this in your backpack. In the can, of course, but not outside the can. I'm gonna have to go get me a substrate. Hold on. While I'm scraping up the substrate here, if you folks could be so kind as to touch that, press the like button. You know, if you want to subscribe, if you like these videos, that's great. I'd love to have you here regularly, or I'd love to be here regularly for you. But if you don't even want to subscribe, if you could hit that like button, it would definitely help YouTube show this to more people. And it would benefit me, of course, and I would thank you for it. So here is my typical favorite substrate, a saltine cracker. And there's another one of these fish logs, but I'm going to break it in half so I can match the size a little bit more appropriately with the cracker. Now, another thing about these really, really old ones, being so stiff as they are, when you bite through them, they don't necessarily just cut. You know, your teeth don't cut. Hello? Not sure if that was a machine gun or a really bad firing bolt motor. All right. Another thing about these stiff fillets, your teeth don't bite through them like fudge. They're a little bit crumbly. So, along with the cracker being a little bit crumbly, as well, I'm just going to shove this whole thing in and see how it goes. It's a mouthful. Definitely good. Mild. These things are mild. There's no doubt about it. It looks like it's going to be really harsh and strong because of that picture on there. Not at all. It's a very mild fish. And I've done these before. I've done this exact brand about 3-4 years ago, but I thought it was worth doing it again just because I'm a little bit more mature in my fish taste and my evaluations of the product. If I had a list of 10 regulars that I always would go to, if I didn't do all these videos, and I've got, I don't know, way over 150, I'm sure. If I didn't do all these videos and have to constantly eat different ones, and I just wanted to settle on half dozen or a dozen, this would be my definite go-to for mackerel, because it doesn't have just the high-intensity tuna fish mackerel flavor, which typically canned mackerel tastes like really, really intense tuna, even a more intense, invigorating sardine type flavor. But this has a different flavor because of the marinade in teriyaki sauce, and you know, it's grilled. How they actually grill it, who knows? I don't imagine that they have this out on a barbecue fire pit or something like that with a guy flipping them over or somebody flipping them over. It's probably a liquid additive that adds the grill, but maybe they do, like Burger King, have a big long old chain conveyor belt over a fire. That would be really cool. Anyhow, however they do it, it really comes out good. I would highly recommend these. They're not found in very many places, but if you do find some and you like them, you might get yourself a couple dozen ahead of time, because obviously this one lasted 8 years and still it's really good. Now, oftentimes people ask how much these things cost. This one right here, I recall now because it says on the back, I had this sticker where I got it. I got it from an Asian food store, $1.50. That also explains why it's 8 years old, because I just bought it last year and this is way overdue. So when you buy from Asian food stores, I don't know if they got a special waiver on the things that they sell, or if it's a known, understood that they're selling products that are overdue. In fact, I don't know that's even illegal, you know, to sell products that are overdue. Doesn't really matter to me, but Asian food stores quite often will have outdated goods, and this one definitely is. So if you want to find these, you probably have to go to the Asian food stores to find them. I haven't necessarily found them in the standard grocery stores around the country that I've been to. So that's it for today. If you have any comments, please leave them down in the comments below. I read every comment. I don't have the opportunity to respond to all of them, and I found that most of the time people don't really see those. I don't think they actually see my responses anyways, but rest assured, I read every one of the comments, and I appreciate every one of the comments, just like I appreciate every one of you out there who watches this video. So until next time, this is Rocky the Funny Guy. Thanks for watching.